Hi, I want to introduce myself. My name is Amanda, or you can call me Mandy, whatever you like. I basically want to profess my faith to Jesus, and I want all to know. This is my first YouTube video, so don't judge. I don't judge. And I just want to basically say my testimony and what I've been through and why I gave myself to Jesus. And hopefully my testimony can help others in their journey with whatever it may be if they're searching, and hopefully this video can be something that may help you. So I want to start by saying who I was before. I was born and raised a Catholic. And so I always grew up knowing Jesus, but didn't actually have a relationship with Jesus. And basically went through everything that I was supposed to, went to catechism classes and, grandparents teaching me, parents teaching me about communion, confession, and everything that there is to be a Catholic. I got the rosaries, everything. But there was something lacking there. There wasn't a relationship. It was just these rituals, but never a relationship. And I'm not saying that some Catholics don't have a relationship, but being brought up with being Catholic my whole life, I was never taught to be in a relationship with Jesus. So basically, I did what I wanted. I never listened to my parents. I always disobeyed them. I always thought that I was better, and I know better, and I know everything, just like every kid does. I got into a lot of trouble. And I never wanted to be home. I was always going out, drinking, partying, gossiping, just being very sinful, and not living a life that I was supposed to. And always wondering, always asking God, why are these bad things happening to me in my life? And I want to be good, and it's like whatever I'm doing, it's not good. It's always hurting somebody. I was always hurting somebody, and I didn't intentionally want to hurt anybody, but it just happened. I was just very selfish, and I wasn't very nice to people, or I always just thought of myself and thought that I wasn't hurting anybody, and then I always ended up hurting somebody. And so then I got into a really big problem. I lost everything. I lost my family. I didn't see them for about a year and a half. I was living on other people, going from house to house, going from my grandmother's into my aunt's, back and forth, and going to my fiance at the time, going from his house to always just going from house to house. It was like I was never stable for about a good, I'd say, year to actually no longer than that, maybe about 3 years. I wasn't stable. I have a little girl, and it was me and her going from house to house, and it was just hectic, problems, baby mama drama. Yeah, it wasn't right. And then finally, me and my husband now, we were always having problems, and finally we were able to be mature about everything and work things out. And he'd been wanting to go to this church, and we went to the church, and I heard the sermon, and it really spoke to me. I don't remember what the sermon said, but it just, something in the sermon like got to me and made me want to seek Jesus more. And then I would go online and I would see all these things going on in the world. All these like conspiracies and things in the Catholic Church and you know, just a lot of things going on in the world, and I was just worried, you know, and concerned, and I wanted to know more, and I wanted to know more about being a Catholic, because I was, like I said, I was brought up being a Catholic, but I never knew the background, I never knew the history, I just knew what I was taught, you know, and as I've grown more into learning, like, about the Catholic religion, and then going to this church, hearing the sermon, I noticed differences, and I said, you know what, I want to know the truth. I want to know what's going on, and I asked God, and I said, you know, God, I grew up a Catholic my whole life. I was born and raised to it, and I've said many times that I will live and die a Catholic. I will never change. I don't want to be anything other than a Catholic. I was just proud Catholic. And I asked him, you know, I'm hearing all these conspiracies and these things about the Catholic Church, and then I was taught that I would never understand the Bible, that only a priest could and only the Pope could, and I was taught this. I mean, maybe there's Catholics out there that weren't taught that, but I was taught that, and their family and the generations kept teaching that. And I'm sure many Catholics, that happened as well, because I've talked to former Catholics and they said the same thing. So I guess it's all matter what your family and being brought up in. But anyways, that's not the point. But I was taught not to read the Bible. And I was taught that you go crazy reading the Bible. And but I still wanted to know. I still wanted to know about God more. And I wasn't getting enough. I wasn't, from my lifestyle and from everything, I was not getting enough of him. And that sermon made me thirst more for it. When I would go into a Catholic church, it would be basically a paragraph, then communion, and then he'd say a few things, and that's it. It'd be a paragraph of scripture, and then he wouldn't really ever explain it to me. And then when I heard the sermon, it made me thirst more and want to know more. And then why is my life not right? My life was always chaotic and hectic and selfish, and it wasn't very good, and I just wanted to know God more. So I told God, I'm like, you know, I'm seeing all these conspiracies, I'm seeing all these bad things about the Catholic Church, and my life isn't good. I'm not living the way I'm supposed to, and please tell me the truth. I mean, I'm living this life, and I don't want to go the wrong way. Please do not lead me in the wrong direction. I want to know you. I want to get to know you more better. And so I told him, I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna read the whole Bible. I have all these questions and I need answers, God. This is what I prayed to him. I prayed to him like if I'm talking to you guys. I just had a conversation and I told him, you need to tell me because I don't want to die and then everything be wrong and then I wasted my life, on something that wasn't true. And I told him, like, if being a Catholic is right, then I'll stay a Catholic. And if being just in a relationship with you is what you want, then that's what I will learn more about. And I will get that and I'll give that to you, just whatever it is, I'll do it. So I told him I want to know. And so I told him I'll read, and I did. And I started reading the Old Testament. And reading the Old Testament, I got to know God. And I got to know a God that I never knew, that I never was brought into knowing. I always heard bits and pieces of who he was, but when I finally read, I actually got to know him. And when I read all the stories of the Jews and how they hurt him, his anger, his rage, I felt it reading. I felt his hurt, his anger, and his rage. I felt that, and it made me think of my sins. It made me think of what I've done in my life, how I've hurt people, how selfish I was, and it just made me realize that I was no better, and I thought I was better. I was no better than the Jews who betrayed God before Jesus. I was no better than them, and I was no better than after any. I seen my sins, I seen my heart, and the problem with everybody today is everybody thinks that they're good, and we're not. And that's what I thought, is that I was good. And I wasn't like everybody else, but that's what I was thinking. Oh, I'm not like everybody else. But as I read and got to know God, I realized that I was no better than those Jews that hurt God, because I was hurting God. And I remember reading, and it finally just got to me. Reading and seeing how hurt he was and angry he was, it finally just got to me and I just broke. And I started crying. But crying so hard that I couldn't breathe. And I got on my knees and face in the floor, just crying out to God that how I hurt him, and how could I do this, and I'm not worthy, and just crying very deeply, and couldn't even see, and I needed clarity. I didn't know what to do because I was so into crying that I didn't realize what was going on around me. I just picked up the Bible, and I because I just needed confirmation or something. I didn't know, I just needed something. I picked up the Bible and I opened it to a random page, and the first thing I read was, "You are forgiven." And as soon as I read that, I said, How? I told God, and how could you forgive me? I'm nothing. You are so good and great that you forgive me, somebody who is worthless and who hurts you. You forgive me. I was shocked just getting a confirmation you are forgiven. I was in shock, and then I felt this feeling that I've never felt before. I felt this heat surging through my whole body. And I even said, God, why am I so like hot, you know? And I didn't understand what it was at the time, but now I do. I know what that was. And I'm very thankful for God's grace. And I'm very thankful for Him forgiving me when I didn't deserve it. And ever since that day, when Jesus forgave me and told me in His word, you are forgiven, I have not stopped changing. Everybody around me noticed a difference. They noticed me more happier, more giving, and more loving, and just being better. I still sin, but I work with Jesus, and I don't do those things that I've done before. Every day is a new step closer to Jesus, every day. And I am not the person I was before. That person is dead. And I am a new being. And I'm very thankful, and I'm excited to share with you. That's why I want to make this video, to help people understand that anything is possible, and your life will change drastically just by devoting yourself to Jesus. And I am proof, and the people around me are witnesses to my change. They are witnesses to what Jesus does to your life. And I've been saved for a year now, and I can honestly say that I don't ever want to be that person ever again. And I'm so thankful that I've gotten to know Jesus. I've never known Him. I thought I did, and now I do. And I am proud to say that now I know. I read the Word every day. When I don't read, I feel lost. I feel hungry. I feel thirsty. And it's not a normal hunger or thirst. His Word is life. It is your spiritual food. And I'm thankful for the Word. I'm thankful for Jesus. And I want to share my experience with you. And for all seeking, you will find. You will find Jesus. And I I just hope and pray that you who are watching, if you feel lost, if you feel like you don't know where to turn, you have nobody, if you feel like you're alone and you have nobody to even talk to, as no one understands you, know that you aren't alone. I've felt alone for a very, very long time, and no matter how many people are around me, I've always felt alone. And I no longer feel alone. I feel loved. And not by people. It is a different love that I pray that you will seek. I pray that you search for this love, and this love is Jesus. So for whoever's watching, find Jesus. Seek him. He will save you. God bless you.